Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Francine, and thank you guys for tuning into my channel, The Hermetic Herald. I am here for a channeled message / tarot reading for two people that I hear about all the time. This is someone I can't pretend I don't know. I can't pretend that I don't hear about them quite often. This is going to be a reading for Hailey Bieber and for Selena Gomez. So it's been a while. I've looked at their history, at least in the mainstream, as far as Twitter, as far as social media in general, and what I hear about them. And I have heard so many things on either side. I personally tend to do readings on people where I offer an unbiased approach and I look at both sides. So what you're going to get from me is someone who doesn't have a connection to either parties, just because I don't really have enough of an opinion formed on either party. So you're going to get more of an open experience with how the reading flows based on the spirit team. Their spirit teams are the ones I'm going to be focusing on. What are they trying to convey for everyone else? What kind of information and insight can we get from the spiritual world about these two parties? I feel like a lot's going to come through because today specifically, I just kept seeing stuff about them and I was like, I never did a reading on them, did I? I never thought about it. So I want to do that today. And what's interesting is I like to flow. If you're new to my channel, thank you guys for tuning in. I just want to let you guys kind of have an idea of what I do so that you know kind of the person I am. I tend to go with the flow. I do spreads, but sometimes I touch base with the energies as I go. So I got already the 7 of Cups coming through, the 2 of Wands, and the Page of Swords. Communication. I'm hearing communication was spotty for quite some time before the truth really came through between the two of them. Communication wasn't very strong between them. They were listening to a lot of gossip and a lot of words spoken by other friends of the other party. So for instance, if Hailey was sitting there and just kind of going about her day, she would hear about things from the friends of Selena. She would hear about things and vice versa. It happened a lot. And I feel like from afar, they made decisions regarding each other. But throughout their time together, there has been so many illusions. When I was shuffling the cards, I was hearing so many things. So I'm going to break that down. So I'm primarily clairaudient. You're going to get messages coming spitfire sometimes. And then you're going to get the tarot as well. So I'm an intuitive reader that uses tarot and oracle decks. Okay, so just to give you guys a heads up, what I felt very strongly was going to a song randomizer. So I went to a song randomizer and I got 8 songs, right? I said, give me 8 random songs and this is gonna help me understand the energy coming into this reading. The 8 songs I got was Shawn Mendes, Stitches, Katy Perry, The One That Got Away, Wisin, Escapate Conmigo featuring Ozuna, Adele, Hello, Meghan Trainor, No, Pharrell Williams, Happy, Zara Larsson, Lush Life, and Pitbull featuring Chris Brown, International Love. This already was giving me a story. So I use everything that I get because I don't believe in coincidences. This is telling me there was a lot of pain in the beginning of the relationship or in the beginning of their even interaction with each other. Stitches tells me there was pain. The One That Got Away tells me that there was an opportunity for something between these two people to occur that would have been positive in their experience, but one of them was not in the right headspace to accept the other person. And that is something that I feel is really painful to look back on for them. They may have moved on, but there's an energy of them feeling like they missed out on something in the beginning when they first had a lot of pain regarding whatever the situation was prior. Adele's Hello told me that there was a reason. There was definitely a relationship in between them that was very painful. It felt like they were speaking and they were not being heard by each other, by one another. No, with Meghan Trainor, right? Cover of her picture is this. It tells me that they blocked off their heart chakra to each other at some point. They did not feel interested in even getting to know what the truth was because it was too frustrating to deal with the illusions. Pharrell Happy tells me they found their own respective happiness apart from each other. And then we're just gonna just keep going. I mean, international love tells me that they're focusing on the horizons. They're focusing on their future. But we want to understand past and current energies. So I'm going to go back to the past, and you guys are going to let me know if you resonate with it, because I do not know their past well at all. And that is what I do on purpose, okay? I'm not trying to be ignorant. I'm just trying to focus on what comes through, and it tends to come through best without the bias. When you get biased, you get a weird spotty energy with your readings, and it really just didn't work for me personally. All right, so we have the bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Four of Wands. Typically, the Seven of Swords is about a getaway. It's about sneaking out of a situation, moving out with your Five Swords here. They're dropping two swords. They're like, forget it, F it. You know, there's a need for there to be clarity, but they didn't wait for clarity to come between the two of them. The Wheel of Fortune is telling me that there was a need for them to look at the bright side, look at what they could get out of their respective futures. They kind of looked out and away from the situation and looked instead at their future and at their horizons. Four of Wands is where they found happiness. So they seem contented with how they see their own futures respectively. But we're going to look at what really happened. So what is the state of the relationship? Let's look at this here. Let's look at their situation in the past at the height of the drama, okay? At the height of the drama surrounding these two, what was the state of their energy? What was the current state of their energy? Thank you guys also for those of you that are here normally. I forgot to say that. What was the current state of the situation between them at the height of, okay. Situation was the Seven of Swords. There were a lot of secrets. There were a lot of sneaky energies coming in between them. There was a lot of slyness, and it felt like almost like it was immature. So the Seven of Cups, or I got the Seven of Cups intuitively, but the Seven of Swords is about illusions about someone and sneaking away. No one, it's like I'm getting the image of someone who couldn't see the other person because they were so quick. There was not enough clarity whatsoever in this between these two people. They were so littered, I'm hearing littered with illusions of each other, that they never really truly understood each other because there wasn't clarity. There wasn't the Ace of Swords, it was a Seven. We have here sideways the Eight of Cups. They constantly were looking for emotional fulfillment. They were constantly turning their back to each other and saying, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to address this. Constantly. What's interesting is that when the Eight of Cups comes up, you would want to hear or see the Nine of Cups, which would dictate or say to you as a reader that you found the emotional fulfillment you're looking for, but they never found it. Between each other, they were not happy with the way things were, but they also were not willing to, it was like they were constantly trying to understand each other, trying to do it, but with their backs turned. How can you get to know somebody with your back turned? It's like there's that wall. There was definitely a wall between the two of them, and there was not like a way to scale it, okay? Because they were always constantly turning their back to the person and then looking forward and hoping for better. But they were not willing to look at the dissatisfaction between the two of them and face each other. Okay, so let's look at Selena's side. At the height of their issues with each other, at the height of the controversy between these two, let's go back. What was her external vibe towards Hailey? I'm hearing 3, so we're gonna get 3 cards. What was her external feeling towards them? This is flipping, so it's a lot more, and this feels like another one. At the height of the issues and surrounding them, we have Judgment as her external vibe towards her, how she looked at her from the outside, how she looked to people. Judgment is here. Judgment's typically about being honest with yourself. It feels like with this energy from this card, it feels like she was trying to be authentic with her. She was trying to be authentic about the situation initially, King of Swords in reverse is telling me though that she was not communicative at all. She was holding on to what she could have said about the situation out loud. She was holding back. Even if she said something, I want to just reiterate that she was not speaking about some major parts or aspects of this relationship. We have the Ten of Cups. Externally, she wanted it to seem as though everything was okay. Why am I hearing 2015? So 2015 is significant here, and I'm also getting the Three of Pentacles, that she wanted people to see her as not being someone who's starting a war, starting some issues with Hailey. Selena wanted to look like she was a friend, or she was at least on good terms, platonic with her. Ten of Cups and Three of Pentacles tell me that, okay? Queen of Pentacles is also here. She was like, I got my money, I'm focusing on my career, I have a lot to give, and I'm very generous. She wanted people to see that she was a very generous person, a very generous friend, potentially to anybody. This is like in general, her external vibe was, I am a friend to so many, I am happy and content with where I am, and I also am open to partnerships. I'm open to even resolving whatever this is initially. This was her external vibe towards her. We also have the Six of Cups, seeing her as someone, you know, that she's met in the past. So she knew her, like, before all of this happened, before all of this went down. I want to also let you guys know that I tend to look elsewhere when I scry or when I like focus on channeling, so don't mind that. If you do, that's not going to change. I just want to let you know so that you're not wondering. Six of Cups is usually about nostalgia. So she wanted to reminisce in the past with people on the outside. She wanted to talk about the past, say, you know, I had no qualms with her in the past. I had no issues with her in the past. I'm more so like a lover. I'm more so like a sweet energy, and I'm not trying to be confrontational or mean, okay? That's how she externally felt or acted towards Hailey in the midst of this. Internally, though, how did she feel, Spirit? How did Hailey feel about the situation? We have the King of Pentacles. She felt like the winner in this situation. She felt like she was the one that came out with the most, or the best of the two of them. She felt like she was like on top of it. She expresses herself as a feminine energy oftentimes, which is what we both have, right? We have both aspects and both energies. But I feel like she expresses the feminine, but inside she's very much masculine in how she sees situations with people. I'm hearing with parties. Parties exact. So she's very exacting. We have the Chariot. She felt internally towards her like she could transition with her, like she can move on. Basically, it's like she felt like she had already gotten the best of the deal, like the best of the two with regards to her and Hailey, and she felt like she could just move on. She was like, okay, well, I'm doing well. I got a lot of money. I got a lot going on for me. Moving on. And she kind of would try to move on very quickly. But we also have the Knight of Wands in reverse. So she was forcibly moving on, but emotionally she was not ready. Knight of Wands in reverse tells me it's like a destabilized knight, someone who's not willing to who's not acting normally, who's acting erratically. Usually the Knight of Wands upright tells me as a reader that they're usually very passionate, moving forward in a project, but when it's in reverse, it means that she still had roadblocks emotionally. She wanted to move forward, but she was having a hard time doing that. I feel this card as well, King of Cups. Internally, she actually felt like she had a lot of emotions towards her. We also have Five of Cups. She felt like she had lost something, with the Three of Cups being poured over. So she actually had a lot of emotion, and she felt a lot of emotion towards Hailey. But she was trying to move past it, and I feel like it's almost like this emotional thing that she does, where she tries to like not seem like she cares as much, but inside she cared deeply about this. Bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. It's the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. So when I see those three, it's telling me that intuitively she knew that she had to focus in on her work. She could only focus in on it a bit, because the Page of Pentacles is usually like a very initial energy. It's like starting something, young energy, immature energy. She knew that she had to kind of focus on a friendship, or at least focus on some amicable energy, like we're good. She wanted that. So she intuitively wanted that. She wanted to pursue it very quickly with her, but she had a lot of sadness and disappointment with how things went. Okay. Hailey, let's see what Hailey's internal or external, let's see what her external vibe is towards Selena at the height of the controversy, at the height of their issues together publicly. What was her external vibe towards her? What was Hailey's external vibe, Spirit? I don't know why I'm getting bananas. That's so weird. She externally felt the 3 of Swords. I don't know if Hailey likes bananas and for some reason it's like a go-to snack for her and they're telling me that. Or she thought the situation was bananas. I don't know if she says that. 3 of Swords is the external vibe. That tells me that she felt like this was really disappointing. This was really painful on the outside. She felt and wanted people to see that she was very torn up about this, very upset. Wheel of Fortune. She thought that externally she was able to project that this was a really beautiful thing. This was like fate, also karmic destiny that they met, but that it's karmic destiny that they went through this. I'm feeling this card and the Ace of Swords. She feels like it was meant to happen. So externally she wants people to see that she was heartbroken with the 3 of Swords, right? She wanted people to see that life goes on, life moves on. I'm still fortunate, I'm still happy, I'm still married. And that clarity came through this situation. Despite it being painful, she felt like this was the truth. And like, that's how she projected it. She felt like, you know what? Selena there's a reason why this happened. Karmic destiny was at play. It was showing something about her. And there's clarity now about this situation between us. But it was painful on the outside. So she wanted you guys to see that she didn't feel happy about it on the outside. Externally, she didn't feel like she was in balance. She wanted you guys to see that. I don't know why I'm getting another person's name. Hailey Stafffield or Stanfield. Don't know why. Alright. So spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What is her true feeling towards Selena at the height of their feud, their energies towards each other at that time was the Page of Wands. I'm hearing let's go, it's go time. So this energy of like, wow, 4 of Cups, not feeling anything, feeling detached from Selena, feeling like she could care less about her. Page of Wands is usually about, I'm not getting a good vibe. So what I'm getting with the Page of Wands is that she felt towards her like she could pick at her and fight with her. Page of Wands typically is like a joker, someone who like starts, like initiates things. And I don't know why I got that, like a claw, like she's putting claws in someone, trying to put claws in someone, and I truly don't know why. We have the Death card at the bottom, the Magician, and the Queen of Cups. She has a lot, okay, so she has a lot of emotions. I'm just gonna be honest with you, she has a lot of feelings towards Selena, and what she does is she reprises and brought up old stuff again. She brings up old stuff to address and then keeps it going. Like it doesn't end. When you see Death and then the Magician, it's like you're manifesting like endings all the time, or you're manifesting a new start, and it's like it could have ended one time or just in the beginning, or 2 times even, but she decided to keep it going. We also have Temperance. So towards her, she found balance in not feeling it, like she was on good terms with her. She felt like she was comfortable with that. She was almost like accepting of it, but almost like she was used to it. So for instance, I'm getting a visualization here that I should share with you guys. You know when someone is like fighting and bickering with someone all the time, and then they're so used to it that they do it out of like habit instead of it being like a healthy attachment. It's more like they're so used to fighting. She was so used to it and found balance with it. With the Temperance card, 4 Cups and Temperance. It's like she was used to feeling dejected, detached with her, and that was fine. What is her internal vibe towards Selena, Spirit? We have the 9 of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. She kept picking fights, and then also she kept like putting up her stakes, like literally like holding on to offenses and kept going. Like she wanted to be the last person, the last say. We also have the Hanged Man. It's also about like she didn't let something rest. I'm literally seeing with the Hangman like a dead body being held up by rope, and never letting that body rest. The Fool. She feels like a very immature energy here. All right. Let's keep going. Coming from someone who doesn't have an opinion of either of them, I'm just telling you what I see. So if you guys like or dislike it, it'll help my engagement regardless. So I don't want anyone to take it personally, okay? If you do, that's not my problem. Let's keep going. Let's look at what is helping or hurting the situation. Helping or hurting the situation. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about indecision, indecisiveness, and illusions. What was hurting the situation was illusions. What was hurting the situation was feeling left out in the dark with each other constantly. That was what, feeling like they were like excluding each other. They felt isolated by each other. Between the two of them, I'm just gonna be real with you. Selena's coming out more mature than Hailey in the height of the issues with each other. She was coming off as more of like, I actually cared and I actually wanted there to be something between us. And Hailey's coming off as I like to tick her off and I like to annoy her. And that's like what's interesting. It's very stark in contrast. Interesting. Ace of Swords is here. As for what was helping or hurting the situation, it was about the illusions and not having clarity. Because we had the Seven of Cups, and I tell you, like, the Seven of Cups is usually about illusions, and I said I saw that earlier in my mind. They just had a lot of illusions about each other. They'd had a lot of lies about each other that were spoken, and like they never really got to see the truth of who they were, truly. That's what was needed. Seven of Pentacles is like long-term, feeling this way for such a long time that you're just so used to it. We're getting sevens and ones. Seven is about completion. It's about perfection, divine timing. It feels like this was divine timing for them because of the karma associated with these two people. We have the Ace of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Two of Wands. I'm hearing master plan. I feel as though they're both powerful in their own right with the Hierophant. They both have something to learn from each other. But here's the thing. They never really came to a place of coming together and seeing how they could unite their energies because they're both able to do something unique between the two of them. And I feel like they never took the action needed, and that was what was hurting it. It was they were not seeing each other as like equal. They were not seeing each other as equals. You can care for someone like on Selena's end and not see someone as an equal. You can look at a child and think they're not equal, even if they are. There's this energy of her looking at Hailey and not seeing her as an equal. It was like this dynamic where it was like a power play. Like both of them felt like that they had to prove something, and it was not necessary. It truly wasn't. This is, of course, something that we learn over time. No one comes into the game or into, life always like knowing all of these things. You come to the understanding that you are valuable as you are. And I don't think they saw that in each other. That's like the intrinsic thing that I'm noticing. So let's see. We looked at what was helping or hurting the situation. What is the bottom line about the past? What can we understand about this past energy here? We have Temperance. We also have the Tower. Look at that. What a weird energy. Temperance and the Tower. Balance and unbalanced energies. Interesting. Upheavals. Constant upheavals between these two. They found balance in the chaos for a long, long ass time. Next card here is the Page of Wands. They felt passionate about having constant upheavals and constant balancing effects. They were always used to being like up and down constantly. Whoa. That's not fun. All right, spirit guides, angels, ancestors. Let's go into their current energies. Let's look at how they truly feel about each other right now, September 27th, 2023. Who is this for? Hailey. So spirit, what is Hailey's external vibe? What is her external vibe? They want me to look at it first. Page or the Ace of Wands is her external vibe towards her. She wants people to see her. And what's interesting is her energy is totally different. It makes sense, right? When you go through life and you grow up a bit more as you get older, but her energy is almost completely different. And I'm getting the number 7s a lot. So it tells me that she grew up a lot in the time that they had prior. Ace of Wands is telling me that she is inspired by her externally. She tries to show people that she's inspired by her. She tries to show people that she's ready to approach whatever comes her way. She also has the Ace of Swords towards her. She feels like she has clarity on the situation. She feels very clear and direct about Selena. And I'm feeling this card. We have a 2 of Wands. She wants people to see that she is ready to unite with her. Look at this card. I mean, 2 of Wands is usually about making plans. We have the Ace of Wands and the 2 of Wands. That's telling me that she wants people to see that she's willing and able and ready to make plans or to involve her life with hers. Page of Wands. What's interesting though is this is like starting with the Ace and the Page. It's usually a very young energy, which tells me she just got to this place externally with her. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands, Justice, Balance, and the 6 of Wands. Yeah, this Hailey has taken a big transformation in her life. Her experiences in the past couple of years, I'm hearing the past 7 years, because 7 is important to her. I feel like she went through a massive transformation where she grew up a lot. She had experienced a lot of difficulties or like emotional healing that really took a toll on her and affected her in a positive way. Because if you have the Queen of Wands energy, that means that you're on top of your business and your game, and you want to focus in on your entrepreneurial abilities, your leadership abilities. You're focusing on balancing yourself, balancing your experiences, your environment with people, and like relationships, and also success. So she wants to come off as, you know what, I'm ready and willing to address this relationship. We have the 3 of Cups underneath that, which is celebration. She's willing to come to a place of looking at her from afar and making some plan to start reaching out or extending something to her. This is like more of an openness rather than it being like, let's make a plan, let's consider a plan, okay? This is the start of that. We have the Knight of Swords, communication. We also have the Wheel of Fortune, positive communication between these two, and the Queen of Pentacles, generosity. Now she has a generosity currently externally. Let's look at her internal vibe. What is Hailey's internal vibe? I'm feeling this card. Whoa. What is Hailey's internal vibe towards Selena Gomez? Whoa, okay. Interesting. What is Hailey's internal vibe towards Selena? Oh my gosh, you have so many things to say, girl. All right, let's see. Let's do this. Knight of Swords is here along with the Emperor and the 10 of Swords. This is her internal vibe, moving quickly into communicating, opening up, taking control and leadership of her own emotions. I'm hearing control your emotions. She has a lot more control internally towards her emotions towards Selena. 10 of Swords is about ending a very tough and painful cycle. And I'm hearing 10, like 10 years also is significant. So first, for her feelings, we have the 4 of Wands, guys. That's about like celebration. That's about feeling a camaraderie, feeling like you have united with someone. She's internally feeling that way towards her. We're also getting the 4 of Cups. When I see the 4 of Cups, it's like she's coming to terms. I'm hearing coming to terms with the feelings that were misplaced. She had some misplaced emotions and feelings towards Selena. And remember, we got the 4 of Cups before for her in the past. I feel like she's come to a reckoning or an understanding of her emotional misplacement or the emotional feelings that she had towards Selena back then. So this feels almost like past energy, like she recognizes the past. And she's come into balance with Temperance. We also had here the 6 of Pentacles, balance, again. We also have the 8 of Wands, communicative. She feels more like she can flow. So I'm not getting that she communicates with her directly, but what I'm getting is that she's moving through that feeling of being stuck or detached. She is no longer stuck and detached towards her. She feels internally towards her like their karma is balanced, because the 6 of Pentacles is also about karma, give and take, reciprocity. I feel like she feels like she's on equal footing with her. She feels like she understands the misplaced feelings between them. She sees her as someone that's also like in a similar position in life as well, because the Four of Wands is about two people reconnecting or connecting with each other and celebrating that. Four of Cups tells me that, yeah, like I said earlier, the misplaced feelings, she feels like she doesn't really have any opinion of her. She more so just feels like she understands her situation and vice versa. Temperance is here. So let's see what else is coming through. Eight of Swords, the Moon, Two of Cups, the Sun, the Eight of Cups in reverse. Wow, we had Eight of Cups upright earlier, right? Eight of Cups in reverse. And she says, she says, I'm happy right where I am. I am where I want to be. That's clear as day to me. So she's more so feeling like a sense of moving on, moving forward. She feels very like free. She feels very like balanced into the sense that she reckons or recognizes what the past was towards Selena, and she's not holding hard feelings. I don't feel that at all. Eight of Swords, though, with the Moon is telling me that she has to get herself out of this place of the Eight of Swords off and on. She feels a certainty with the past, but currently she sometimes feels like she gets in her head a lot and she has to get out of that often, okay? And it's like when you're healing, she has a good portion of it done, and I'm hearing 70, so 7 is very important for her. 70% of it is done, but I feel like she still has 30% of it where she still thinks about this and wonders and kind of gets stuck in her head about it, about this connection, about how their lives are so intertwined. I feel like she's recognizing that her life has such a big impact. Selena's life has such a big impact on her life. I'm not getting any major negative vibes whatsoever. Is there anything else you'd like to say about her internal vibes here before I move on? Anything else? I feel like this card, let's see, Justice. Yeah, she feels towards her like she's her balance, or that she's her balancing. She's what was a major cause of balance for her. So she has some like gratitude towards Selena for helping her balance, because she showed her some things that were really affecting her. Okay, what is Selena's side here? Let's see. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. Selena, what is her external vibe? What is Selena's external vibe towards? And I'm seeing 1144, so I feel like there's something about angels coming through. What is Selena's external vibe? I feel like Selena looks at angel numbers a lot, and that's coming through. External vibe, Spirit. What is her external vibe towards Hailey? Okay, so we got one. All right, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Externally, she feels like fortunate towards her. Like she feels like she's extending an olive branch towards her. We have the Empress. Yeah, she feels like she's abundant. I also feel like Selena feels like externally that Hailey is a very abundant person, that Hailey is also a very fortunate person in life. She's had a great hand dealt. I'm hearing hand dealt, like she got a good part of life, like she got a good experience in life because of her upbringing or something like that's coming through. And I'm getting also the Page of Pentacles. She sees her as someone who is like a good person to Page of Pentacles is the friendship card. Okay, so I feel like she's also saying that she's like externally feeling like on good terms with her. She feels like she can be someone that you would befriend. I'm feeling also the Five of Pentacles in reverse though. So she's feeling like externally with the Five of Pentacles, usually upright, it usually denotes that there's like feeling left out in the dark. But I'm feeling like she's trying to say that she's not feeling left out in the dark. No, Five of Pentacles in reverse, nah. She actually feels really... Clarify the Five of Pentacles in reverse, Spirit. It can take on a number of forms. What is it here? The Lovers is here to clarify that, as well as the Four of Swords and the Five of Swords. she sees Hailey as someone that's very passionate, okay? She sees her as the lovers here. But what I noticed here is that she feels like she wants to take a rest from the abuse or conflict that they've had. I feel like she's rested her case on her. It's like she's almost rescinded or kind of like decided to hold back from Hailey. We also have the Seven of Cups, illusions, and we have the Fool. She just wants a new start. She emotionally is more so detached than Hailey. She feels more like she's trying to say, like, I wish her all the best. She is a great, you know, she's had a great hand dealt to her in her life with her family, with her way she's been raised. She is an empress. She has a lot of money and abundance coming to her and in her. But I feel almost like she's trying to say, you know, she has a number of great things about her. Let me just leave that alone. And there's no emotional connection. There's a disconnect with her more than anything. I feel like she's just resting and holding back. She's kind of found her own peace, and I feel like she doesn't want the conflict. She's not interested in the conflict. She's not interested in the illusions. She's just like interested in her own start, her own new start. Judgment at the bottom of the deck, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. She's very careful with loving or being loving or nice or kind to her. She's very careful with that. She doesn't want to, it causes her more like worry or contention when she tries to come out or try to talk about Hailey. She avoids it. It's a source of anxiety for her to even address it. Interesting. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and I'm hearing what's done is done. She feels like what's done is done and moving on. Oh man. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What is Selena's internal vibe? Wow. Her internal vibe is the same. The King of Cups. What is Selena's internal vibe towards Hailey? What is Selena Gomez's internal vibe towards Hailey? Two of Pentacles. She feels like it's a juggling act with her. Like she has to balance herself out with her. It feels like she walks on eggshells with her. She feels like also the Ten of Cups. She feels like at peace with her. It's the Star, healing energy coming through, the Magician. Manifesting something new. I feel like she feels in power. Page of Swords. Not a lot of communication though, but when it's spotty at best between the two of them. Understandably, you know. But what I can't get over is the King of Cups coming up for how she internally feels about her. Wow. King of Cups is also a water energy, like Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. A lot of cups, a lot of water energy here. She's also a Cancer, I believe, so she has a lot of love, and I think that comes from her own being. So she's in her energy here with regards to how she feels towards Hailey. I feel like she tries to find, I'm hearing blocks, like she tries to heal and she's trying to be in balance with her, but she's not willing to talk to her much. It's like from a distance, healing. Three of Swords. She still feels like some sense of disappointment about the relationship between them. And I feel on a very deep level, this is karmic. This is very karmic. They've caused each other so much pain that I feel like they chose a reality that is so disappointing. I feel like they could have made amends and they could have been on a different, complete other trajectory in life. And I don't feel that with everyone. I feel that very strongly with these two. If they had decided to actually make amends, no use in going in the past and crying over spilled milk, but they would have been really good friends. They would have been really good together. And this is not like relationships. I'm just saying like their energy, they chose wrong and they ended up where they are, and that's okay. They made their own world and life out of that and timeline, but they totally, with the High Priestess, could have done something better with this. They let this Page of Cups get in between them. Okay. This feels like something that could have been way better than what it ended up being. And we have the Queen of Pentacles, two queens, two like very powerful energies. King and Queen here, guys. King and Queen of Pentacles. They could have been truly like a great team. That's sad. Man, that sucks. I feel almost like I need to say this. If there are people watching that are on Hailey's side or on Selena's side, I want you guys to assess the people on the other side and realize that they likely are your karmics. And I got goosebumps. You guys are karmic. Like, I feel like there are people on the other side that you're against or not happy with, or you talk about and you're like negative with, that actually would be great friends for you guys. But because of this issue, you guys have lost or missed out. And that really sucks. And that makes me very sad and emotional. All right. Child eternal. It happens. It's definitely, it happens to everyone. No one's ever, sometimes there's friendships that come along your path, like, or people that you see are enemies right now, that in another timeline wouldn't have been the case. Okay, so child eternal says to me overall that they have a very young energy. They remain young in body, mind, and spirit, and they're able to see things with fresh eyes now. Out of this relationship, they have gotten a lot more. I'm hearing a pair of new eyes. They're seeing their circumstances and their situations so differently from how they used to. We have hero, heroine. They're their own heroes here. We have passion for a journey of personal empowerment. They're both empowered. Look at the two people going up that mountain. They have their own respective mountain and they're going up, and they're both succeeding in life in their own way. This is about both people feeling very empowered about their path. So that's beautiful. I'm feeling this card next. Prostitute, which accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit, of not settling for what people want from you or what people expect of you, but of doing what is right for you. Money should not be and is not their issue. It's more so them following their path of personal empowerment here. That's what matters the most. We have guide, which represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. They are both seeing that their inner light is there, that they're both guided. I feel like they both have their own sense of spirituality, and they're both like representing the divine. They both have aspects of themselves that are divine. They're learning how to let their light guide them with the Hermit card. It feels like a hermit energy. They found this out in isolation from each other. We have monk nun, selfless, devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. So they're very focused on their spiritual life. They're focused on what they need in their life. They might have worked through like fasting, that's coming through, working through celibacy for a short period of time within a relationship as well. Focusing on their own body came through a lot. They needed healing in their body. We also have Midas, miser. They're very good at making their own money, pioneer of thinking of things, of having a passion for creating what's not been done before. But they do deal with this child orphan card. Regardless of whether their parents were in their lives, which I know for Hailey, I believe, has been in her life, there's something about conquering a fear of surviving alone. There's something about loneliness coming up in their life and in their experiences here. Fear of being lonely. What is Selena's light attribute, spirit? What is one light attribute between the two of them, between her and Hailey? What is her light attribute? We have mentor. She's been a mentor to Hailey. This is about passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. I feel like she took her under her wing, or wanted to take her under her wing, and that did not happen. I feel like they would have learned a lot from each other. Student is for Hailey. Okay, student, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. I feel like they still learned a lot from each other. These two are their souls are very like intriguing because they both learned a lot. Servant is coming through for Selena's. This is about delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. I feel like she was meant to be her mentor. But what happened is free will took over. Free will is so powerful, guys. You can literally change your trajectory and go into a completely other direction. Their trajectory could have been so different, and they chose differently. And I'm going to say differently instead of wrong, because you can't really go back and regret of what happened. But they definitely chose a path that was harder. We have storyteller for her. ability to experience and express lives through stories and symbols. Is she into eating? I feel like she would be really good at expressing a story through eating and food and cooking or something like that. And also mediator is coming out for Selena. This is someone who is a gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. What is the karmic attribute of Selena, Spirit, between them? Poet. Okay. Expresses soul insights, or rather turns a lyric gift to negative or destructive effect. She has a way with words and she was not careful with them. She turned things negatively. She spoke or wove a story in a way that, wow, she used her music in a way to destroy a perception or to affect a group of people that were Hailey's friends or people in her circle. She needs to be very careful of her words and how she uses her words and how she uses her notoriety in the public, because it feels like she can use her lyric gifts to negative effects to Hailey, putting her on a chopping block or addressing her in a way where people begin to start to distance from her, or they start to defend Selena. She needs to be careful with how she uses her words. Priest violates the trust of your spiritual community and seduced by your own spiritual role. I have a feeling that she's not very good with... Selena has a very interesting energy to her, and where I feel like she literally goes through... she feels really similar to my family, okay? So I am Jamaican in background. Her background feels like the type to tell you, this is like specific. This is not everyone's experience, okay? So for me, it's reminding me of the matriarch in the family who talks about other people behind their back, and then Selena being the person that says, that's not nice, don't do that. She feels like that in her family. Like she literally had to say, like, stop it. Like, you're embarrassing me. Stop talking about them. And I think she has her own inner monologue where she talks about people behind their back in her head, or talks about them to other people. But she's not that, like, she's not being mean. It's just like something she does because she's had that in her family. And that's like the priest energy. Someone who thinks they're a little bit higher, who can be a little painful with their words, but they truly from the heart don't mean, like, they don't mean it as deeply as it seems. That's specifically coming out for her. Dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. I feel like she expected her to come to her, Selena expected Hailey to come to her, expected her to make amends, but it did not happen. That's part of the issue. Networker. Conveys information only for personal gain and spreads fear and falsehood. She used the media against Hailey. God as well. Despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. She has a lot of power at her disposal because she's a very kind person. I feel like she used it in a moment of like anger and fury, and she can control people that really love her. And it's not like she's a bad person intrinsically. It's more so that she used it at a time where she knew she could break her, or she knew that she could really impact her life, and that is affecting that. That was a mistake. She shouldn't have used her power in that way. They both have very similar energies in that they're both feeling sad about what happened, but it is what it is. For Selena, she has more of a detached energy now, whereas Hailey feels more at peace about it. Okay. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What is Hailey's karmic attributes? I feel this card, this card. Is it this card as well, Spirit? What is Hailey's karmic attributes? Okay. So we have here rescuer. It says, assumes that the rescued will reciprocate and keeps the rescued one needy. She has a tendency to do this in a relationship. She tries to like throw a lifesaver, or like to throw a, what is it called? She tries to throw something across to help the other person on, to get on the boat. But yeah, she likes that. She likes feeling like she can bring people together, and she's the good one between the two of them. She likes feeling like she's the one that can bridge a gap, or feeling like she is the one that is helping the needy. between her and Selena. She felt like she was helping and extending peace to her at times, to keep her needy or to keep her feeling like thankful or grateful for her extension of her love, extension of her care. This is a really long video. Wow, it's 49 minutes. Jesus. Exploitation of the female nature and form. She wanted to come off as more sensual than Selena. She feels like she has to compare herself to the point where she exploits her body or exploits her like form in order to address like how much more alluring she is, when that's not necessary. We have student arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge and unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. She was a bit arrogant. She had the student archetype come up already. Look at how it's coming up again for the karmic. So she's a student through and through between the two of them. She was the student and Selena was the mentor. Arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge between these two. She was trying to like gain as much information, insight on how she was able to have a relationship with Justin. I feel that strongly. And I feel like she tried to take a note from her. She was a student that would try to find out how the teacher got where they were and said, I'm gonna do better than the teacher. That's coming through. We also have Fool. Using humor to wound rather than liberate. She tried to make little jokes to crack about Selena, to wound her, to make her feel bad, to make her sad, rather than liberating and saying what she really felt. Denial of your emotional truth. She tried to seem like it was nothing to her and kind of acted like she was just making a joke and it wasn't a big deal, but she was really feeling hurt inside about this whole thing, okay? So she was feeling hurt as she was making jokes about Selena. She was just doing it because she likes to crack jokes to let off steam. She feels like the kind of person there. We also have advocate, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. She wanted to seem more empowered and more powerful between the two of them. There was competition between them to help causes, to help other people. Not saying that they didn't have the desire to be charitable, but there was something here about her doing certain charities or doing certain things to look better in the public eye. Okay. I'm getting the Magician as well coming through. Magician energy is someone who tries to manifest opportunities to have like a one-up with her, to one-up Selena, basically. This is between the two of them. This could be the past, this could be present or future energies. This is something that's consistent. I'm gonna just say that between the two of them. We have Knight, loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. They are very like, with regards to their love life, they look for the Knight archetype a lot in men, okay? So that is what I have for you guys today. I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to do a healing message for them, and then we're going to close. What is a healing message for Hailey, Spirit? What is Hailey healing between these two? What is Hailey healing between these two? Wow, this one's strong. Reunion of souls. Like I was saying, they're karmics. They're karmic soulmates. And people don't think, like, some people think that soulmates have to be people you, like, are romantic with. They're not. Soulmates can be your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother. It could be your pet. It can be any person that comes into this world and you feel like a comrade, or feel a sense of, like I know you. I feel like I've known you all my life. Where have you been? Like, it doesn't matter. They were karmics, karmic soulmates, and they came into this incarnation, and they were meant to see something in this relationship that they did not see right away. I think they're coming into that. They're learning it. This could have been so different. So I am an Akashic Records reader, and what I do is I look at people's timelines and their experiences in past lives, and I'm seeing that they could have had a better option if someone had addressed it earlier between these two. It's all good though. Number 18. They made their own bed and now they're lying in it. There's something about them growing, with the growth card coming in. Hailey growing, her seeing that despite her decisions that she made that could have ended better, she knows that she's in control of her path and that she is growing. And look at that, teaching. She's going to be able to teach She was the student in the relationship. Now she's going to be able to teach people and see the signs for other people so that they know. And I'm hearing like for her own daughter. So she's going to have a daughter. Death is here. That's like a transformation. Huge transformations happen in her life. We also have honoring your energy. She's respecting her own energy now more than ever, and she's letting herself grow and move towards the light. She's trying not to be shrouded in darkness, negativity. She's not trying to do that anymore. She wants to be above that. So I really wish her all the best with that love and light towards all aspects of her life and her journey, as well as Selena's. I don't like saying love and light because sometimes we tend to think like, yeah, whatever. But I really do want them to have the best here. What is the healing message for Selena, Spirit? Selena's message is integration. She's integrating this experience. I feel like she's more so like close to the end of her experience on Earth. Not saying that she's going to pass away earlier, but I'm just saying, well, I'm not going to say what I thought, which was an age. I feel like she's going to, they're mentioning, okay, I'm going to tell you, I was hearing 66. Something about that is pivotal for her life, but I'm also feeling like she is integrating her experiences in this life, and she's solidifying some things more than Hailey is. Hailey is a younger energy. We're also getting the same card, growth, for her. She's integrating and growing. Are there any other cards for Selena? We also have omens sideways, which tells me that she's constantly seeing synchronicities. She's constantly seeing signs in this life. This is the culmination of Selena's life. Hailey was a big part of her life in this season. I think she's one of the most important people on her path in this life. And it could be for the worst of reasons, but it was like, it could be the worst of relationships, but it was for a reason. We have anger. Hailey was meant to show her something about her anger. Who is she angry at is what I like to ask with this card. Why is she angry? Our emotions are telling us something, and it's okay to feel them, but understanding them is so important. The anger that comes in when she had this disagreement or this issue with Hailey could have been addressed in a whole other way. And it's just, she's seeing that in her own way, in her own timeline as well. We have duality, seeing that someone is not intrinsically good or bad, but that we have both inside of us. What do you choose? It's up to you. But you have both aspects and the capability of being either. Okay. And we also have struggle sideways. This has been an uphill battle for her. She has been through some really, really hard struggles in this life. But I hear consolidating. She's doing more in this life and consolidating it in this life so that she can have smooth sailing in the other lives. I feel strongly like Selena doesn't have a lot of lives moving forward as much as Hailey does. And I feel like she's going to be like smooth sailing. Like she's not going to have to deal with the crap next life. Okay. I feel almost this residual karma though between these two. So they're going to see each other again. All right, forgiveness, having forgiveness. Also for the things that were done, the things that were said. I feel like their feminine energy was not as expressed between them. They were more so masculine in their energies. And now they're discerning of their involvement with each other and of the need that they had for this relationship to happen. It had to happen so that they could see the truth about their power. Okay, this was a really, really, really important dynamic in their lives. So if you got nothing at all from this reading, get that despite the difficulties these two have experienced, they were meant to be in our lives. You could not have prevented this for anything. This was meant to happen. Oh, man. Well, that is what I have for you guys today. I am done with this energy, but feminine energy is what was needed between them. They needed to be more nurturing to each other, and it wasn't like that. They let someone else get in the way. It's all good. All right, guys. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope this helps you understand these two better. If you have any other questions, any other things you'd like me to talk about, please feel free to do so. I wanted to focus on them first because their feelings towards each other matter. and then any other aspects of why they feel that way to each other can be addressed later. Please let me know in the comments below what recommendations you have. And I also wanted to say that I have exclusive content and personal readings on Buy Me a Coffee. So if you would like a reading for the month of September, I have a couple of slots. I want to do Akashic Records readings for someone. There's someone here that needs a message with regards to career and love. So please reach out to me in the email I have below in the description box, and reach out and see what you get from your spirit team, because I really feel like there's messages I need to save, and I'm hearing save, like I need to address some issues that are coming through for someone. So let me know if that's you. I also would like to just share that I have my links for donations as well, if you'd like to share in the energy exchange. But I thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.